I'm 25 and he is 42, and he thought I was his savior and his last hope of love.
That's very weird. When I began this, I got all these messages about this guy harassing this chick, and it seemed like that was the case. But now it's not seeming so clear anymore. Did you ever have feelings for Jason? He was like messaging me all suspicious that I was like giving this info to like on the RFC. My takeaway from this is these two gotta stop communicating, man.
So last night I sent Tegma in because in my gut I felt like the apologies that have been said weren't enough. They weren't apologizing for anything, and they were guilt trips, and some of them were even and if I'm too loud, like, let me know. And some of them were scapegoats, because I saw over and over, well, she's on stream all the time. If you will, well, you can't because his VODs are hidden, but if you'll notice, the past few weeks, the only times that I've been on stream are as co-host, when I've had to be. And a lot, like, there's proof in the pudding that I wasn't around as much because it wasn't a place that I wanted to be anymore. And an example is the other night. I told chat that I would come on and explain some of the bigger Twitch drama because I've been keeping up with it, because I'll have later streams on it, because in the same light as this, I want to hold people accountable. And so I said I would come on, and I ended up not coming on because, and that BRB screen was a phone call. And that call was after I'd sent several texts like, hey, you're opening beers before even finishing the one that you're drinking right now. Like, I am not coming on and going live on my channel too to have this kind of behavior happening. But also, like, you've already had accusations of being in this light, and I don't want that to be used against you. Like, you don't need more ammo for people to say things like that. And he turned it back around on me and said, but what about your problem? And I said, what problem is that? And he told me that I have been abusing my Adderall. I'm on Adderall for ADHD. I have not been abusing my Adderall. My long streams and staying up later due to my insomnia from my traumatic brain injury, aka a concussion that my dog caused a few weeks ago. I also have long COVID, so the long COVID, I had that insomnia solved, and then that concussion has brought it back even worse. So rather than laying in bed staring at the ceiling, I'll be live. And especially when the shit's as juicy as it's been lately, like, I'm gonna be live and talking about it. And yeah. And so I said, yeah, I'm definitely not coming on stream. And I don't remember what he said after that, but he hung up and then was just grumpy on stream the rest of it, and then blamed me for ruining the stream, killed the vibe. So the next day, I talked to a few friends because I was like, this is just getting worse and worse, and I need to tell somebody. And so I talked with someone who's known him for a long time, and our decision was we were going to try to get him to enroll in an outpatient facility, as he has mentioned. I chose an outpatient care because that would allow him to pick up his daughter and drop her off and it not affect his daily life. He'd still go to work, which before he was avoiding. And if you say, how do you know that? It's because he told me that if I'm not going to answer his phone calls, he's just going to sleep. That until I talk to him on the phone, he's just going to sleep. That's how he's going to deal with his problems. And that's when I gave him the ultimatum of, you do this or I'm never talking to you again. And so he went, had the assessment, and enrolled in the program. It's hard to also be raising a kid and be in some kind of intensive therapy. And so this was the best option because he'd already lied about seeing an in-person therapist to me, about seeing an actual doctor. And so that's when I had a long stream and was asleep the day that he went to the appointment. And that day, while I was asleep, because I didn't answer any calls or anything, because I had stayed up for over 30 hours and was asleep. Did you hear that, chat? I was asleep. And that's when he was texting me, which before he even went, he was calling it, well, it's just going to be Nurse Ratchet shoving pills down my throat. But before he even went, he's, we'll let the eval decide, but if you're wrong, I don't want to hear about this again. So even though I had previously called the police and explained the situation and his actions, and they said, yes, send him our way, if I was wrong, because that's what this was about, being right or wrong. And even I'm seeing a therapist right now, and I'm about to have genetic tests done to make sure that my meds are the right ones, that they're actually working with my body. Because yes, I have PTSD from my previous relationship, which he knew, and we'll explain why that's important. But the thing is why he just pushed and pushed and pushed at, I don't need this, was he thought he was okay. He kept telling me, I'm okay. This is the most sound-minded I've ever been. And every time he said that, I was like, this is not who I met 3 months ago. And let's say that again too. I met him 3 months ago.
Stardust looks different today.
There's not a whole lot of people that know someone for 3 months that would care enough to call out, to put up with all this bullshit. One, and
I only
two,
have the banana thing on because I am
care enough to
look
for a program,
on.
make them
out of banana
sign up, and
soon.
send receipts that they were going, or that they had signed up. But I'm a very empathetic person, and what I do is I help people. I like helping animals a lot more, but because I have long COVID and can't do the job that I love, that I'm no longer able to do, I can't help animals, so people are what I do now. And that's all I ever did for him. I gave him my dev team, my mod team. I helped overhaul the server. I spent half of a day and most of the night in TeamViewer setting up his OBS, helping set up OBS because he was switching to Streamlabs. I did all the technical support.
Wow, she's really
while he
fucking
was treating me the way that he was treating me.
She's so fucking based, and he was treating her.
And there's a lot of people that are like, "You're just a snake. You're just using this for clout." How?
She doesn't need to use it for clout. She doesn't need to use any of this for clout. Yeah, she doesn't need to use anything for clout.
Last night he was blasting metal music, put on sunglasses, and was so abrasive in trying to say it's an apology stream. And for those of you like, oh, why didn't you give me the block of contact? Leading up to it, I didn't text back. Like before that, before even having that conversation about the appointment, I wasn't replying because I wasn't replying. I would get one text and then another text and then a paragraph and more paragraphs after that, and they just escalated as they went. And they were all things that were impossible for me to be doing while I was asleep. Everything from talking to other people to purposefully ignoring him. And sometimes these were after a minute of not replying, literal minutes apart, to where when I did open my phone, I really didn't want to reply. But I replied because I was hoping they'd fucking stop. And yeah. And so, yeah. And yeah, we're not even in a relationship. And two, like, I don't reply to anyone. You can ask my mods and my admin because it annoys the fuck out of them a lot. But the thing is, the capacity that I have right now is only for myself and my health because I'm having to see a cardiologist. You may have heard him drop the bomb. She can't even shower. I can't shower as often as most people, and I do have a shower chair now, but that's because I don't want to injure myself passing out. I don't have heat tolerance, and I also don't have standing tolerance. My heart rate shoots up. I have POTS-like syndrome. POTS syndrome-like symptoms. And also, I don't sweat. I know some people don't stream, or like, but like, streaming is what I have now, so like, I don't sweat. I don't have to like shower every day. You would never think my hair was. I will not tell you the last time I washed my hair, but like, it doesn't look like a grease pit on stream. I also have very
not
long
sweating
hair,
is definitely not good for temperature
so it is very exhausting to
regulation.
wash.
That's for sure.
Yes, and he knew all about my health condition because at the start, one of the things that he did do to help before, I don't know what freaking where the twist in the script went, but he got me my shower chair, because I needed it, and my mom and brother were scared of
really nice.
making me mad by doing it, and that was how he helped me. And so, I was like, well, if she was treated badly, why would you do that? Well, if you've never been in a abusive situation, then you don't know that these people don't reveal themselves until later on, when you're pretty much
that is true,
close enough that they can get away with things and you won't just immediately be like, bye. Like,
yeah,
they know.
Make sure you're reliant.
They can start pushing boundaries then. Yeah. And so, yeah. And once you have an emotional bond with someone, like, you don't want to believe, this is what you're doing again. And then for me, when the veil came up, I was like, holy fuck, I just almost ended up in the same fucking place I was. Like, shit, twice in 1 year, dude. Like, really?
But you know what? That's very typical. She shouldn't feel. She shouldn't feel like bad about that, right? Because that's actually very typical for people who have been in abusive relationships. If you've grown up with abusive relationships, you're more likely to enter abusive relationships. You're more likely to enter, these types of things, and for some reason, just not see the signs, or just, for some reason you become easier target,
I was like, okay, reached out to a friend again. Except this time it was a group of friends. And I said, hey, is this normal? Because I don't feel like it is. And they were all like, no, this isn't. And a group, well, two. And so after that talk, I reached out to another group and I said, hey, I just want you guys to know that if I'm more distant, or aren't like operating.
Okay. Are we back at...
Yeah, this was earlier. He's now blocked. Yeah.
Questions I have.
Yeah. Yeah, at 8:12 today was, I never meant to hurt you. I can't stop you, but hurting you was never my intention. Blah, blah, blah. You're probably used this too. But I'm sorry. More I'm sorry's. And then he deleted it about 10 minutes after.
Yeah, sussy baka. Very sussy baka. That he deleted it. Alright, let me take a look at the questions that I have.
And then at 8:27, he said that me coming on stream was him losing his kid. That if I told my truth that he would lose his kid.
That's just emotional blackmail. That's just emotional blackmail.
Yeah. Yeah. And I haven't even said anything that damn sure could. But I would say, because I know you're watching, if you're scared of losing your kid, I would stop getting shit-faced on stream to the point to where you yell at me on cam, visibly. I have the recordings. You don't even know that the video that you're playing to stream is muted. You go on this huge, creepy tirade, like freak out whenever Empress Queen reads you, talking about how beautiful she is, the most beautiful person he's ever seen, and if I could marry you, I would marry you in a heartbeat.
Pirate Empress, my homegirl, my favorite. I love you, Pirate Empress, so much. You don't understand, homegirl. I truly love you. Like, I would fucking marry your ass if you lived in the United States. I would fucking marry you. You are fucking beautiful and wonderful and amazing and everything good about fucking people in this world. I appreciate you so much, God bless. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
They just do shady shit. Yes, he called me a meth head. He also admitted to calling me a meth head on that stream last night. But then in his apology for it included that she is abusing her Adderall. I'm skipping around the timeline, okay? But all this shit like literally happened within the last week. Most of the big shit happened within the last week. So because I went on Stardust stream, he freaked out and went over's the big reveal, because me going on her panel meant me doing the exposing that I'll be doing later at a calculated time. But he wanted the clout from what's coming. Along with that is him accusing me of using victims. After the shit you put me through this week, you can go fuck yourself. You had me in a fucking room with crackheads and schizophrenic people in the murder capital of blank, where he's from. But yeah, I had a fun time on Stardust stream, and it was fucking embarrassing because during the stream is when he's saying all this crazy shit to me, and he's saying all these crazy shit in a group chat with his friends, that are now that are mutual friends that we were all in, accusing me of so much when he didn't even know the situation. Yeah, it was so much fun. Like, yeah, that's my element. Saying acting wild on Chaos Cast is like my element, because that's how my usual streams are. Because I'm just fucking chaotic as shit. I mean, clearly my life is, But her chat noticed, and she said, she was like, or it was either Stardust or someone in the call was like, Stardust is the one usually frowning and grimacing. Are you okay, Clai? And it like snapped me out of it. And not even a friend watching was like, you had 1,000-yard stare. And she was like, and I knew something was happening because that stare was, I don't know what to do right now. And like a deer trapped in the headlights. And that's what I was I was like, oh my God, like now's the time. Like I can't be typing furiously on my keyboard while I'm in this fucking show. Like, and we were playing like a game. And so I like felt it was very,
poor thing.
like I was thrown into a position of like looking rude because I was having to deal with that, and I wasn't catching some things, and I was like, oh God, like really? Which luckily I did have people like Tegma and Paradigm and Endless all stick up for me. And so Tegma asked me if he could tell my side to our group of friends, which are the people that we've all streamed together with. Thank you. And yeah, it was fun. Like, and that's what I was saying was, yeah. So because I was busy and on the show, I let Tegma tell my story to Paradigm, to Endless, to Aston, to a bunch of people, because
No, I mean the other guy was kind
it
of
was
laying her out
unbiased.
all day yesterday, so
Because we, like, there was no agenda there. Yeah, Jason was, oh, you're betraying me by streaming with this person. It's a betrayal to all of us. And then he was trying to pressure the person that I'm working with into giving him the information because I was doing it wrong, even though he didn't have the fucking plan. And then he also accused me of, how could you do this? You know what she did. And I was like, yeah, you know who stuck up for you at that time? Me. And I even apologized to Stardust for talking shit. Like, there's receipts there. And so, adding on to me being on that panel was, the therapist said, you've been gaslighting me for months, undeniably. I have been talking and doing the work, and your inconsistency and inability to manage your meds and maintain any level of regular communication like most adults is a problem. Hell, I can't plan a stoner cast, can't help you with Full Metal Friday or any of the rest because your shit is fucked up. He's the one, he's never asked me to book for stoner cast. He's the one that's always done that. We've also never planned it, but like beforehand, so all of those are just excuses. In all caps, you're the one abusing your meds. You're the one who can't emote. You're the one who can't even shower daily. No, you did this program and you projected your mental health issues onto me. Get inpatient help, stop abusing our meds, take a shower, and clean up your room daily. Then you'll have room to ever address me about my shit. And then because I didn't respond, until then you have no room. And no, even the psych I talked to today said, you don't need this. You need a one-on-one therapist. You put me through fucking hell because you believe you couldn't deal with the fact that anything could possibly be your fault. Hence why you never apologized for anything. Yeah, he told me to clean my room.
I think Jason is the last person to really be talking
Like,
about that.
I have to have help cleaning my room. My mom helps me clean my room because it takes a lot out of me, and he knows that. That was just him trying to use everything against me that he knew would affect me he blamed me for not streaming. He's given me his stream and his server about 10 times now because he's quitting streaming. I've caused him to quit streaming. This is it for him. I've ruined his income. That's what he said to me before stream too, that I ruined his extra income, that he's never going live again. And then I wake up and he's live. Oh, and then he also tried to use one of my mods that's close to me to pose him in an angle because a love story will be more appealing to people. Her wanting to do OnlyFans and her e-girl stuff isn't going to get her the audience that she wants. A love story will really get people.
I'm so confused by that.
Yeah. He's the one who told me to go help Tegma with tech support, and I got freaked out on, and he said, you can go have Tegma if you want, I'm done, but deleted the messages. I was able to screenshot them from my notification screen. Also, let's not forget, I am 25 and he is 42, and he thought I was his savior and his last hope of love.
That's very weird.
While the IRI stuff was happening, and we were friends, sorry, Clai is flirty. Clai has an entire album of nudes and lewds because they're from college to now, because they helped me with self-esteem problems.
Okay, so I'm gonna let her ramble on for however long she needs to. I feel like I am not doing any service to you guys by just continuing to watch that, because there's nothing there for me to really say. That's really more of her talking to her community who already kind of knows the backstory. Basically what happened, there's this guy, Jason Society. You may remember him because he and I had an argument about platforming in which I called him an alcoholic. Lo and behold, look what's happening now. But, you know, that's another thing. When I called him an alcoholic, I was joking. I did not know that he actually had a problem. Then he goes on to do ableism against IRI. First off, he does this pussy-ass shit by saying, oh, I was in an abusive relationship. You're making fun of somebody who was in an abusive relationship because I called you an alcoholic? Hello? So, yeah, I called him an alcoholic as a joke. Just as an insult I threw out there because everybody throws out insults in these fucking debates. And he got all butthurt about it and was like saying like, oh, I just got out of an abusive relationship. Can't believe you call me an alcoholic. Yeah, I turn to alcohol sometimes, but it was because I was in an abusive relationship. First off, one, it's none of my fucking business you were in an abusive relationship, okay? It's none of my fucking business. How am I supposed to know that? Two, you want me to be considerate of you having just been in an abusive relationship so I can't call you an alcoholic as a joke? So what are you, how far are you going to go towards being considerate of me? Are you going to be considerate of the fact that maybe like you're a man who is yelling at me and I don't deal well with that because of, like, past issues? Maybe that's you know, maybe he nope, but none of that. Then he goes on to do straight up ableism to IRI, making fun of his eye, making fun of an accident that cost him his acting career. And you know what? I'm willing to write this kind of stuff off, right? Because clearly the dude's not in the right mental space. But I cannot believe that he is such a pussy. So, moving past that, okay? Moving past that. I talk with Clai. She like is adding me over some Twitch drama that I'm covering on Twitter, and I'm like, I'll cover what I want, whatever. And she's like, you should check this out. I'm like, I don't know anything about that. You should DM it to me. She DMs it to me, so I cover a little bit of it. And we kind of like actually end up getting on good terms. Lo and behold, if like 80% of these leftists actually got to know who I am and got to know me as a person, maybe they would like me. Maybe I'm not as dangerous as you think I am. But anyways, so OverlordClai, she's super cool. I had her on a Chaos Cast. While I was on Chaos Cast, somebody was messaging me that Jason's having a meltdown in her chat over me, saying like that how could you go on Stardust show? Stardust is, you know, Stardust sucks, Stardust is this, Stardust is that. Let me remind you all, I have not called Jason Society any names like he has called me names, alright? I have never called Jason Society any names the way that he's called me names. I've never called Endless any names like he's called me names. I've never called the way that majority of the people in those spaces talk about me, I have never talked about them that way. Ever. In the moment that I do, they would be fucking crying. They would be crying their eyes out. What do you think is more damaging? What do you think is more damaging to my reputation? Somebody calling me a Nazi or me calling Jason Society an alcoholic as a joke? What do you think is more damaging? Let's not call people names here, okay? Because I'd like to maintain that. All of these fucking people that have called me all sorts of names under the sun, I've never called them nearly the amount of names or nearly the level of things that they've accused me of. So yesterday, everything kind of comes to an ugly head. Jason Society is on stream with Tegma. They are arguing. What I caught from it is they were arguing about this situation with Clai. Jason Society is claiming that Clai let her on just because she was on stream with him a lot, and he interpreted that as her being interested in him for some reason. I don't think so. I think you know, people hang out with a lot of other people for long periods of time because they like hanging out, because they want to be friends, not because they are automatically interested in you romantically. And anyways, regardless of that, even if we grant that maybe there was some sparks at some point, which I highly doubt, but if there was some spark at some point between the two of them, Clai has every right to change her mind about that and not reciprocate those feelings. Yeah, and then he's saying that, God, dude, he said all this shit, accusing her of abusing meds, saying that she treats people like shit when she doesn't. She's been incredibly kind to everybody I've seen. Accusing her of abusing her meds, accusing her of destroying stuff and being irresponsible. She's 25! She has the ability to be irresponsible for a time, guys. Okay? Even if she's irresponsible. I don't think she is, okay? She's got some pre-existing circumstances, but even if she were irresponsible, I think she has every right to be irresponsible. Then she tried to help him by getting him admitted to a facility. Then he's, you know, while she's passed out for like 12 hours from a concussion, he's like messaging her paragraphs and paragraphs. All caps, you are the one abusing your meds. You are the one who can't emote. You are the one who can't even shower daily. Bro, she's got a medical condition. You want to fucking calm down? Holy shit. Jesus Christ, dude. No, you need this program and you projected your mental health issues onto me. Like, this is straight up like fucking mirroring, Jason. What is this? Go get inpatient help. Stop abusing your meds. Take a shower. Clean up your room. Who are you? Jordan Peterson? This dude's read some Jordan Peterson. That's what I'm saying right now. I'm calling it. Jason's read Jordan Peterson. He's his down low favorite author. Then apparently today he's been like vague posting about her. I've been horribly misrepresented. One day the whole truth will come out. One day. Until then, Twitch people will think and act like Twitch people do. I tried to help you yesterday. The moment I was in Jason's chat yesterday, he was like, as soon as I saw Stardust, I knew what was happening with you know, I knew something was going on. As soon as I saw Stardust, blaming me for your fucking parasocial relationship, bro. Jesus Christ. Good God. Don't blame me for your parasocial shit, okay? That's on you. You can't blame me. Then later on, because I was the only one giving him sound advice, telling him, hey, dude, you should log off. People on Twitch poll, there are 2 types of people on Twitch poll. There's the one type that will be understanding of your mental health issues, and there are a lot of people like that. Then there's a second type that are going to clip you crying, and they're going to use it against you at some later point. And you know what? Even if I dislike you, I don't think you should have to go through that. I hate how he uses his poor mental health as an excuse for bad behavior. Have a mental health problem, go see a therapist. If you are to the point where you cannot function because of your mental health issues, you cannot function socially, and you are being abrasive and abusive and berating somebody, you know, who is much younger than you, by the way, and who has you are not entitled to her time or her attention, you need to go and see a fucking therapist, okay? You are not entitled to a relationship. You are not entitled to anything from her. How are you?
I'm good. I just took a hit that should have been a different bowl because it was mostly ash, so you missed the main coughing. But I also feel like my weight's lifted. It's nice.
Yeah.
That so many people were so supportive, like hearing the story, and throughout the story, like I've had to take my Klonopin every morning the past 2 months, and I didn't have to take my Klonopin this morning. Like,
that's awesome.
I didn't realize that I had been having more panic lately, and like where it was coming from. So like,
yeah.
And it's also nice to. Oh, I saw my Discord chat muted. Sorry, I still sound. There we go. Sorry, chat. But yeah, it's also nice that I think a lot of people that didn't know or were on the fence because like I hadn't said anything, I think it changed some minds, because what helped was Tegma coming on and me being able to see like how he would react and how like people that were mutual friends or like in the community would react. Kind of prepared me and gave me more confidence to speak for myself and like tell my story, because it was kind of at that point like, okay, he's like talked about me a few times now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
What am I supposed to like say against this? Like,
it's so it's overwhelming, and it's it can be hard, because I think a lot of people don't realize there is kind of like ever since the Me Too stuff, there's been kind of like a pendulum swing back, kind of that it now everybody kind of always second guesses, and I mean, it was always like that before. Whenever somebody comes forward and is like, hey, somebody's being really uncomfortable with me, somebody's being you know, really you know, invasive in my life, you know, you always had some pushback where it's like, well, did they get the right signal from you? Are you sure that you weren't doing anything wrong? And then you're always like thinking to second guess yourself. And especially since the Me Too thing swung so far this way, now it's swinging back this way, it definitely can be very, you know, very intimidating dealing with that. It's good that you were able to at least identify what was happening while it was still online, right? So I think that I don't think you should beat yourself up for that.
At the start of the year, I had to just shut down completely to be able to cope and not just freak out, because that round of COVID lasted a few weeks and then I was stuck in long COVID. I didn't talk to anyone. Like, I didn't reply to family. Like, from December of last year to March of this year, I was bedridden.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
from August of last year to mid-February, I didn't care to be alive. Like COVID, I was just like, it was one problem after another with my health. And then, like,
Yeah.
it was a 2 years like of shit suddenly being realized and being brought to my attention was just like, all right, we've just got to be Clai, and that's it. And I have an amazing community that allowed me to escape and be Clai, because it was easier to be her than Callie, who has to apply for disability at 25.
So you've known Jason for about 3 months now, right?
Yeah.
And how did you
Um,
meet him?
so I was on the 24-hour charity birthday stream, and after they did the Stonercast portion, I was like, "Oh, this looks fun, like, I'll hop on." Jason and I started
Mhm.
talking more, and I spent the rest of the stream because during that time, his ex was moving out,
Yeah.
during on his stream, and so I was like, "This guy, like, I just wanna help not, like, make it less shitty," because one of the things that I love about collabing with people is bringing out the best in them and bringing out, like, a good show, something that people wanna watch, and so that's what I did, and he was a good friend, he listened to me, um, and then it was when the boundary pushing kinda started.
Yeah. So the boundary started pushing basically as soon as you became friends with him.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
because it like I said, within weeks was saying, "I love you," and things
Oh.
like
Mhm.
I he thought I was a savior and last chance at love, basically, and chat, I'm 25, he's 42.
Mhm. Yeah, I would expect more maturity from somebody who's 42 at least, but
And at
um
first he was,
yeah.
and that's the person that I saw, and
So I guess I just have a question. Did he when he said this about you and you guys became friends, how long were you friends with him before he started saying these things? You said like a couple of weeks, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then so I guess the next thing I guess would ask is like, did he know you from before then, or had he watched any of your content before? No. So it was
No, so
really just
I
2 weeks. Wow. Yeah.
yeah, I came to sorry, I realized that I was, like, blasting my light, I came to watch the stream because Grimlo was there, and I'm friends with Grimlo,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Oh, Stonercast, this is gonna be hilarious."
Yeah.
So,
Um.
it was literally I had I had really had no idea about Twitch poll until I met him
Yeah.
and I was,
So
like, brought into it.
yeah. So as soon as Jason, like the first time he said that to you, what was your initial reaction? Just like uncomfortable, like
Like,
awkward.
yeah, like, I was like, "I really don't I can't do that, like, don't." It was I mean, like, my reaction right now is it was
Yeah.
just so fucking weird, and then I was like, "Oh, what have I gotten myself into?" Because I had clearly made boundaries, but, like,
Yeah. So
I thought
you
we were good friends because he also and but I was reading earlier, a friend pointed out that he should have said something earlier, which I don't blame anyone because in these situations you can't see like that's the thing is if people wouldn't if people would have been able to see, um, I think Twitch chat would have been able to see it most, and it would have been out there, but that's not how these things work. There's charisma involved. There's manipulation, and um, lying to friends that were very supportive.
Mhm. Yeah.
The most supportive people for me were, uh, like I said, in the DMs. I have a neutral party, but like Endless, Paradigm,
Mhm.
and that group were immediately like, "What do you need?" Like I like this was someone that they had in their inner circle and that they
Mhm.
would vouch for, and they were just like, "We're supposed to be against these things, and we've been contributing to them because they had been fed the lie of we're dating."
It's hard to
And
honestly, it's hard to know though. Like even from their
yeah,
perspective, it would be hard to know, especially if he's lying to them.
yeah,
And you said that you pretty much laid out boundaries for him. You said like initially, like first off, as soon as he said something that I can't do that, like that's
yeah.
yeah, that's not something for me. Um,
And then it was finally those boundaries were pushed into, and I'm just now it's coming back. It started off with, like, I there's something between us, like, I know there's something between us, like, we like all the same things, um I know that there was more, like, to you coming on stream than this was meant to be,
oh,
like,
so he was kind of assuming
something.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it pushed into me saying, "You could say we're talking," I was like, "But we are not dating."
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was coercion of, like, we vibe, and and then the
You were
flirting, and
friends. Yeah.
then he bought me a stream deck. That's when it was, "This is meant to be," and I was then talking turned because it was like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot," like, I can t we do talk about the same things, like friendship, if it turns whatever back on, like, but it was never, "Oh, yeah, this will turn into dating," because I also had I don't reply to anybody. I also have to worry about my health because I have a lot of bad health days. At first, he was so understanding about them, and then it became if I wasn't replying within a minute, it was, you're talking to somebody else, you're
Mhm.
in Endless's DMs, you're in all these DMs, you're in," like, he literally was like, "You're in Endless's and Paradigms and Tegma's and everyone's DMs."
Okay. So like so I don't mean to like kind of steer things any sort of way. I guess I'm just trying to frame things in a way that's going to be easy for like
No, I'm all over the place, that's the purpose of
okay.
you, because my train don't stay on the tracks.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just trying to frame things in a way that is understandable for chat. So basically he bought you a Steam Deck. You guys were friendly, you guys were friends, you guys were, you figured you'd give it a chance at least being friends with him. Um, and you
If
already told him that basically that you didn't have it in you to be anything more, but you would give him time as a friend essentially.
and he
Um,
was like, "Oh, I'll wait for you."
Yeah.
and would tell me that too, like, "Oh, I can wait," but then I can wait turned to
I can't wait. It turned into I
yeah,
can't wait. Yeah,
yeah, it's just
essentially.
needs to be now. Why can't this be now? And I'm
Essentially,
like, I've
yeah.
been very clear why this can't be now. Like,
Mhm.
why can't you accept my answer?
I think one thing is, I always tell men, and this is something that I feel like he should know at the age of 42, but um, if somebody is truly interested in you, but they like just physically can't, they would probably communicate to you that, hey, I like you a lot. I might even see something in the future with you, but I can't do that. I can't do that right now. But with you, even you were saying like I don't see. It wasn't even like I see a future for us. It was just I can't do that.
Yeah,
And so most of the time, there's like that signal. Somebody's not just going to say, um, that somebody's not just going to brush it off if they're truly interested in you or if they truly feel like there's a possibility there, right? And so at 42, I feel like he should know that by now. Um, and I think you gave enough signals in that case. I guess as he went on and continued to say, "I'll wait for you" and stuff like that, did you ever like respond to him and tell him anything in response to that, or?
yeah, I would because he was also like, so one time he asked, and she kept pushing, "Oh, I want to meet you in person," and he was like, "What if I just showed up?" And I was like, "You'd be met with my double barrel Black Eagle," and that really like pissed him off, and he would
That
bring
is
that
a
up
very
against me
clear
too.
sign. Yeah.
But I was like, dude, I have been housebound and I'm still housebound. Um, you showing at my house is like not like friendship. Like that's like one of my fucking followers showing up at my house. That's what I was saying was I think there's some parasocial aspect in it too
It
because
it
he
could be
thought,
parasocial. It could be, but I've also seen this kind of thing happen even without parasocial relationships, right?
yeah, but I think there was like that added aspect to it
Yeah.
because it was like that like viewer kind of thing.
Sure. So he
But it
probably thought he knew you really well because he consumed your content, right? He probably thought he
yeah,
knew you inside out when,
because I do vent.
yeah. And he probably felt like there was a connection there where maybe there wasn't one. But you already made it super clear. I mean, I think him talking, suggesting meeting in person and you saying what you said was a very clear sign to for him to back off, essentially. Um, so I guess the next question I would ask is uh so at any time I'm just asking these questions to frame things so chatters can understand it better. And if at any time you don't feel comfortable with a conversation or with a question, you just let me know, okay?
Yeah,
But um uh this is gonna sound like a really stupid question, but did you ever have feelings for Jason like that at any point in that friendship?
I think early on because there was like a little bit of excitement because I was like, I this guy like seems rational. He listens to me.
Hmm.
Um, I haven't been able to shave my legs since December. Ayo, chat. Hope none of you are jerking it.
Yeah.
But like he was the first dude that had been like, I don't care, like with someone that just kind of I opened myself up
Hmm.
a, a little, like because
Yeah.
I continued to and restate the boundaries.
Yeah.
But I
So
opened myself up a little, and
yeah.
then when it started when I started to like get the spamming and stuff is when I retracted. He says I retracted when he was on his medication. He continues to blame his medication when this was happening after he got off it, weeks after he got off it, and that's when I like crawled into myself because I was like, and like when I started enforcing those boundaries more solidly is when I was cold.
Well, I'm probably gonna log off because I'm feeling kind of sick. But are you gonna be streaming for a while?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, I'll just write into you. It was fun hanging out. Thanks for
Yeah.
doing this interview with me. September 24th is the stream where Jason's basically is, you know, losing it on his stream. Then, if we go back, September 16th, they were just having this message. Like I said, I'll leave you alone. I know where I stand now, and I earned this place. I own it. Have a good stream, and I will continue to always love you. I'm sorry I let alcohol and emotions and stupid jealousy get the better of me. I am sorry for the shit I put you through. I mean that sincerely. And she replies, I'm not fucking saying to just disappear, but but shit, I'm allowed to be mad. I know I'm trying not to dictate your feelings, but be a better man. I'm fucking tired of the constant apologies from you. I know I'm not even very good at them either. You deserve more apologies. This man's down bad. This man's down bad. He just needs to stop. The two of them need to stop communicating. You know what? That's gonna be my takeaway from this is these two gotta stop communicating, man. I'm gonna try and give as clear of a review of this as I can, and I will try to be as, you know, as unbiased as possible, but yeah, this kind of like gives different vibes. This one and then the one about uh actually, you know, this one about the space heater or whatever, this one actually doesn't change how I view this at all because she said from the beginning that she was, you know, she's a flirty person. She said that from the beginning. Um she's never denied that, right? But so it doesn't really change how I view it, right? To me, what it looked like is that somebody, thank you Zodia for the resubscribe, and thank you Larry Potato for the subscribe. Uh look, so from the beginning she did say that like, yeah, I'm a, you know, flirty person and all of that. And she did it. And she also admitted that she had feelings maybe in the beginning for him. But as things went on, she lost those feelings. She was no longer interested. And from the beginning, she also said it was not very likely that anything was going to happen out of it, right? So this doesn't really change my opinion that much, this part here. You know, flirting is going to be cringe no matter who does it. Uh, but um, but I think the part where it's like, this is late August or mid late August, and it's saying like catching on to us. Could just be he's catching on to something sexual happening, maybe not something romantic, you know. And then there's this. I'm not saying to disappear, but shit, I'm allowed to be mad. Be a better man. I'm fucking tired of constant apologies from you. I don't know that this really shows too much either, except that you know what, she's also always been generous to him as well, saying, you know, trying to get him help and stuff. I don't know. To be determined, you know. When I began this, I got all these messages about this guy harassing this chick, and it seemed like that was the case at the beginning, but now it's not seeming so clear anymore because even there are messages saying from her to like, oh, I don't want you to not talk to me, you know? So Star is always charitable, and even when she helps out, they still talk shit. Star is far more charitable than I am. Look, everybody in that group hates me. I have no reason to, you know. The banana is open to all sides. I am open to all sides. At the beginning, it just looked like somebody having a meltdown, you know? But yeah, I am open to all sides. I am open to all sides. And you know what? If I got something wrong, I will try to correct it. So That's the integrity that I have as a person reporting on the situation. So, though I do have to say, if it does come out that like there are way more mixed feelings, way more mixed messages in this, it would be kind of crappy to try and like completely destroy somebody if it was just mixed messages. So, what I would hope is that that was not the case, you know. But we'll see. We'll see as the stuff comes out, you know. We can only hope for the best, right? We can only hope for the best. But yeah, if I got something wrong, I'm happy to correct things. I'm happy to, you know, be corrected. Look, man, everybody's a bad egg, okay? Nobody in that group has been particularly nice to me, so I'm not really looking to, with the exception of Clai. Clai's maybe been the only person who's been nice to me from that group. Tegma kind of redeemed himself in my eyes because he went on stream and like was trying to defend Clai with what he had. The meth head claims were bad too. Stardust, yeah, those were bad. Those were bad. He shouldn't have called her meth head. He shouldn't have been messaging her while she was passed out from a concussion. Yeah, Tegma kind of you know, did kind of redeem himself in my eyes with that. But then at the same time, he was like messaging me all suspicious that I was like giving this info to like Augie RFC to cover or something, as if Augie RFC would ever cover this shit, you know? Like, like this is way too. This is baby shit compared to. This is baby shit compared to you know the stuff that Augie RFC covers. I highly doubt Augie is into covering this, you know, tiny leftist infighting drama. So I don't know. Even after like helping people out in that group, I got like I over here while I'm fucking dying from COVID. I got, you know, okay, so while I'm trying to cover this and be as fair as possible to both sides, by the way, you know, Monday, I think I gave a very balanced you know, coverage of like the things. I tried to be generous to Jason too. May not have been as generous as I could have been, but I was as generous as I could be with the information that I had. And I think you know, I really tried to be as generous to both sides as I could be, right? And I don't even know when did this first stream happen with Jason? The stream where he talked about what happened. It was the 24th. Okay. Then Tegma jumped on the 24th. And this is when I'm just starting to get sick, right? So I'm just starting to get sick around September 24th. Sunday I start to feel it. Sunday I interviewed Clai. And then the next day, Monday, was supposed to be my day off. I'm still calling into Rhizo to give what I think is as clear of a you know, summary of the situation as I could come up with, right? Despite being sick with COVID. And I'm doing that and trying to be as unbiased as possible. And I hear just a day later, well, one, I get a message from Tegma. I don't know when it was, the message from Tegma saying, oh, are you aware that Augie RFC is, you know, what do you feel about Augie RFC covering this? I'm like, is he covering it? Like, I didn't hear about that. I would have heard about that because this audience fucking hates me, bro. Then, you know, he sends me these people who are bothering him on his Twitter. What, two people. You think if Augie RFC decided to cover the drama happening with you that you wouldn't have like 500 people fucking bothering you? Hello? If Augie decided to cover the drama, you would be getting a lot more than 2 people bothering you on your Twitter. Anyways, these people have no idea. Then I hear another day, either a day later or whatever, that Endless is going around saying that, oh, Star's just, you know, I don't know what she's doing this for. I bet she's doing this for clout. Homie, I am sick with COVID. I called in I interviewed Clai while I was sick, and I called in to Rhizomes to talk about the situation while I was sick, and I didn't make any videos or any stream content for a week while I was sick. I'm literally fucking dying, bedridden, and I'm still calling in for you fucking people. Why do I do what I do? Huh? How am I supposed to know that, Stardust? Have you seen how many people watch Augie RFC live? The dude gets like 1,500 viewers on YouTube live. Okay? I get like 100 people on Twitch live. You kidding me? If Augie wanted to cover the fucking drama, you would be getting way more people fucking up your ass, okay? Than 2 people. Also, they're all smaller than you, so who are you getting clout from by you covering this? I don't fucking know. I could be covering other shit that would get me way more clout. You kidding me? Then, on top of that, you know, I'm telling you, man, it would be way more than 2 people. You have not had the wrath of Augie's audience on you, okay? Those people call me the Sand Edward all the time. I was just in a chat earlier with them, but one of them continued to call me the Sand Edward on voice call with me, okay? Anyways. Just saying, Endless did not say you were covering this for clout, just wanted to say it. He said something like, oh, I don't know why Star is covering this. I don't know why she's doing this. Like, and implying that I'm like doing it for clout or that I'm making content off of it. I'm not fucking making content off of this, homie. I haven't made any content in a week. I'm dying from COVID. I don't know why I do this for people, man. I have no reason. I have no reason to, you know, I'm going to continue and try and be as unbiased as possible with this, okay? But I was already that I watched one of my mods join a call with Endless and try to defend me, and he's trying to still portray me as some weird clout demon when I'm not even, I don't do the amount of clout sharking that dude does, okay? I've muted on everything, and Jesus fucking Christ. Do a stream for your funeral? Jesus, man. I'm fucking, I was literally, I cannot. I cannot. I cannot. I don't know, man. Why am I calling in to Rhizo's show, sick as fuck, to explain this drama situation when you know Rhizome is not gonna fucking talk to you guys. Rhizome is not gonna fucking talk to Tegma, not gonna fucking talk to anybody associated with Endless because they've made so much bad, you know, bad blood with him. Like, why am I doing this for you guys? Going in there and calling it while I'm fucking sick. Well, also Monday is supposed to be my day off because I stream 6 days a week and I'm sick. Okay, I'm calling in into Rhizome's show. Nobody else could do it except for maybe Sonsol. And then I hear a day later that Endless is saying, "Oh, I don't know why Star is doing this. I bet she's making content off of this." Fuck you, my dude. I don't need to make content off this shit. I don't care whatever fucking project you guys have. Jesus Christ. Try to do something nice for people. I don't know. I watched a whole stream where my mod jumped on with Endless, and this dude still continued to be as bad faith as possible with me. So tell me what happened then. If I got it wrong, tell me what I got wrong. Tell me what I have COVID, so maybe I misheard. But I remember somebody was not being very charitable to me. Why am I doing this, huh? Don't worry, I'll still continue being nice because I'm a nice person. And because I'm a pussy and I let people walk all over me because I'm a fucking doormat. But, you know, I'm getting real sick of it. One of these days I'm gonna go a little psycho. Alright? And you won't like me when I'm psycho. You see me as a banana? Banana Stardust isn't anything near Psycho Stardust, okay? And Banana Stardust is only a fraction of Psycho Stardust. He said something along the lines of, "You'll use this situation to try and throw it in their face later for doing the bare minimum of supporting Clai or some shit." That is what, that bare minimum comment really fucking bothered me. Really fucking bothered me, man. Ugh. Oh, bare minimum, really. I'm doing the bare minimum, calling it while I'm sick as fuck. Look, man, I hope you see this as a comedy sketch because I'm ranting about how people hate me and how I'm gonna go psycho while I'm as a banana, okay? You should see this as comedy because that's what it is. But look, I'm telling you, man, that Endless was over there saying, like, oh, Star said this about, you know, putting kids to work and, you know, all of this on this stream. I'm like, homie, that was a joke. I'm sorry you don't get my fucking jokes. The joke is there's a school to prison pipeline. We're gonna take away the school part of the prison pipeline. That was the joke. If you don't get my fucking jokes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She is sick and delirious. Kids belong in the mines. They do. Fuck those kids, man. Take the school out. You know what? Just put them directly into prison. Fuck the prison to school to prison pipeline, man. Just take the school out of that. Just send them womb to prison, okay? We should put more kids in work camps. I can't believe he thought I was serious about that, man. Have you seen how many kids play Minecraft? They'll enjoy the mines, yeah. Look. I'm over here as a banana. Wait, watch and see. Somebody's gonna take this and be like, oh, Stardust. Stardust is saying this about me. Oh no, I'm dressed like a banana, man. I'm dressed like a banana. Here it is. Now let's take a look at this. I was very clearly joking. I do this bit all the time, by the way. Whenever I go on primes that I want to be particularly, you know, nuts. Let's see. Thank you, Zodia, for linking this. Here it is. Children have gotten so fucking lazy, okay? All they do is that, I mean, look at them. They're fucking soy beta bitches, all right? I think we need to eliminate schools because schools just line the pockets of politicians. All that money,
Big pharma.
They take all of the money from the taxpayers and it goes into the pockets of the politicians and into private schools. Okay, I think that shit's fucking bullshit. I think children have gotten lazy. I think we need to take these kids, either put them directly into the workforce, get them working early so they can learn some fucking work ethic, or we put them directly into the prison system. Okay?
I mean, based.
You're not gonna fucking fight me? You guys are pro school mandate.
Oh,
they love chat. That's so great.
I'm kind of pro school mandate, but I think that was pretty based. I think you just pushed me over the edge.
I was trying so hard to just get like any type of argument out of these guys, and they had no idea how to react to me after that. Oh, Stardust said this about me. Oh, Stardust said that about me. Yeah, I did the bare minimum. I did the bare minimum. I did the bare minimum for you, huh? I did the bare minimum in this situation, huh? Me trying to be as charitable as possible. I'm doing the bare minimum here, guys, huh? Oh, Stardust did this. Stardust did that. Stardust kept saying this and that. I'm a banana. Stardust is so mean. Oh, she said this, she said that. That's also what happens. Every time that I have pushback, even the tiniest bit to these people, oh, Stardust is so mean. How could she do this to me? Shut up! I'm a banana! Everybody, let's just take a moment here. Let's breathe in. And breathe out, okay? And breathe in again. And breathe out. Oh! One more time, guys. We're gonna breathe in. Okay, now we breathe out. Oh! Do you feel relaxed now? Because I don't. I don't feel relaxed. I don't feel relaxed. Whole stream talking shit about me, huh? See what happens. Talk shit about me one more time. See what happens. See what the banana. I didn't break the mic. I'm still here. Okay. Endless was talking some mad fucking trash about me though. Any of you guys want to keep denying it? Paradigm, Tegma, I see you in the chat. You're in there. I see you. This is what's gonna happen. You tell him that if he keeps talking trash on me, then I'm gonna go full banana. I just got here and I have so many questions. Your mom just came in my butt and had no questions about it, so, you know, what now, idiot? Sorry, that was really mean. I shouldn't have said that. Why do you people watch me? What is going through your heads? You have to be mentally ill to be watching me. I don't think I don't think I have normal people who watch me anymore, man. I don't think I have normal people who watch me anymore. What's the TLDR on what changed your Jason society stance? I don't know if I'm completely changed, you know? I actually don't know that I'm completely changed, but I think that I think that there, you know, it's fair that maybe he got the wrong idea from some things, but you know, I still think that's not an excuse for him to be messaging her while she was passed out from like a concussion, you know. I think, you know, a lot of people in their adult lives, even a lot of people, you know, people all the time, everywhere, all over the world, get the wrong idea for things. And that's fine. You know, it's a little bit cringe, it's a little bit awkward. People get the wrong idea. But he shouldn't have been messaging her while she was concussed like he was. And you know, and that was probably very stressful for her. And he probably shouldn't have been blaming her the way that he was blaming her or calling her a meth head, those things, you know? It's probably not things that you should do. So.